You're welcome to another interesting edition of the Economy and Politics Show. It's the first for the year 2022, so we can say Happy New Year to you all. We discuss key developments as it affects the households. And first, I would like to just tell you that today we'll be discussing the year 2021 in retrospect and what will shape 2022 as it concerns the political economic space. But before we begin this conversation, we want to pay tribute to a great African Christian leader, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He was a unique leader, selfless leader, and a great humanitarian. He was a Nobel laureate prize winner, and also throughout his lifetime lived to protect and promote a great African continent and a world where people regard each other with dignity. Archbishop Desmond Tutu was also at the forefront of fighting the apartheid era in South Africa and will be fondly remembered for his great inspiring words and had great friends like the late former president of South Africa, the great Madiba, Nelson Mandela. We pay tribute to him, and we believe that he shows the way of inspiring other future leaders in Africa and across the world to live selflessly and make impact, which is the essence of life. Before we begin this conversation, let's go on a break. And when we return, we'll take you through the key developments and Accord 2021 and what you need to watch in 2022. You don't want to miss it.
Tune in to Web TV Daily to stay up to date and informed on the financial market, personal finance, and more. We have got you covered with all your favorite TV shows, economy and politics, market review, women's series, millennial talk, Islamic Finance Weekly, The Brief, exclusive interviews, events, and we keep you up to date on all the updates in the financial market with the market opening gong. Watch premium content. Watch Web TV. Same news, different perspective.
Welcome back. And if you're joining us, it is the Economy and Politics Show, and today we are looking at 2021 in retrospect, political economic developments in Nigeria, and the key developments to watch in the new year 2022. Let's first begin by highlighting key developments in the Nigerian economy in 2021. It was an eventful year, and first of all, the passage and signing into law of the Petroleum Industry Act, which is designed to transform the oil and gas sector, was a major development that brought great prospects to the industry. Second was the fact that we now realize that Nigeria's current debt size is 38.01 trillion naira, according to the Debt Management Office. The third major development for 2021, which caught really our attention, was of course the federal government's presentation of the 2021 Finance Bill to the National Assembly, which of course will be signed into law in due course. It has some significant changes and will shape our fiscal space. Also, for number 4, the National Bureau of Statistics released our current GDP, which is 4.03%, showing a progressive growth in our economy, and that was as at third quarter 2021. Number 5, the federal government rolled out its National Development Plan covering 2021 to 2025 period. We encourage our viewers to join our website, www.prochange.com, to read the full document. That's the strategy government is taking on economy development in Nigeria. For number 6, our unemployment rate released by National Bureau of Statistics rose to 33.3% in the fourth quarter of 2022. That's the latest unemployment rate we have, showing that there's a lot to be done to address unemployment. So you can say in 2021, unemployment was growing on a high rate. Our current inflation rate is 15.4%, capturing for November, according to the NBS. Food inflation is 17.21%. A lot still needs to be done in inflation, double digits, even in food inflation too. Number 8 was a very interesting development in the information and communication technology space, as the Nigerian Communications Commission issued the 5G spectrum license to MTN Nigeria Communications Limited and Mafab Communications. That brings a new chapter to boosting broadband infrastructure and technology in Nigeria. Also, the federal government of Nigeria presented the 2022 budget to the National Assembly. The initial expenditure is 16.39 trillion, but National Assembly passed 17+ trillion naira into law. Now the president already, in principle, signing that will now make it a January again to December fiscal year. So we'll look out for how that budget will be implemented. And also a very interesting development happened in 2021. The FG, the federal government, signed an memorandum of understanding with the UK-based group on improving our intellectual property commercialization. That means IP rights would be a big deal in 2022. So those are just some of the very interesting developments that occurred in the economic space. Now let's go to the political space because, of course, I'll tell you why it's very important. First of all, we had an interesting elections in Anambra State gubernatorial elections, and this led to the emergence of Professor Chukwuma Soludo of the All Progressive Grand Alliance as the governor-elect. So that's for Anambra State. The People's Democratic Party is the major opposition party in Nigeria. They held their national convention, and now they have a chairman. Dr. Iyorchia is now the national chairman of the PDP, so going to give the ruling party, All Progressive Congress, a run for their money. And of course, the biggest political story for 2021, the passage of the 2021 Electoral Act Bill, which made provision for adoption of technology for elections and even the direct primaries. The president withheld his assent, saying that, look, you can't use direct primaries as the only option, talking about the costs. Now, the National Assembly is looking at it and garnering majority votes to see if they can override the president's approval of the bill. But we'll continue to monitor developments as we enter this year. Of course, when this year, 2022, that will be a big talking point in the political space. Now let's go on to political economic activities to watch in this year. Year 2022 is a very interesting year, a lot to look out for. First for us is the Nigeria's monetary policy approach. It's going to be very critical in two key areas, inflation and of course, foreign exchange management. We want to be monitoring how the Central Bank of Nigeria will approach it because it will be very crucial for the economy. The second areas will be the reforms in the oil and gas sector through the Petroleum Industry Act, which is now an act, including the removal of fuel subsidy. Is Nigeria ready for it? How would the citizens and all stakeholders react to that? And of course, the need to leverage gas as an alternative source of fuel. That's a big agenda for the Nigerian government. And of course, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Incorporation and its possible listing on the Nigeria Exchange. Those are key developments to watch in the oil and gas sector. Number three, very interesting development to watch in 2022 would be the implementation of the 2022 federal and state budgets alongside the fiscal bill 2021. How this is implemented will go a long way to drive economic activities. As we all know, it's a challenging time, and 2022 is very critical for Nigerians. Number four, we're going to watch as this federal government has assured Nigerians that key infrastructure projects like the Lagos-Ibadan expressway will be completed alongside Second Niger Bridge. The Minister of Works has said, let's watch out for second quarter. So let's see if this government will keep to its word to complete critical infrastructure projects that will help boost economic activities. Number five will be how the federal government and states manage the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Last year, 4,000 flights in December were cancelled because of this variant. So how states manage this whole development is very critical to ensuring that we don't go back to the era of a lockdown in the economy. In the political space, of course, this year, 2022, we're going to see the Ekiti and Osun gubernatorial elections. That's just going to give you a foretaste of what to expect next year when we get to the general elections season. So it's going to be a big battle. Major parties, the All Progressive Congress, PDP, People's Democratic Party, and other parties will be juggling to see if they can win those states. So it's very key. Number seven will be the Electoral Act 2021 amendment, the face-off between the executive and legislature. Let's see how it all ends because it's also crucial to our election cycle, our political activities. So let's see if we're going to have a win-win situation, what the National Assembly is going to do, and what the executive will give into. So it's very critical, and all stakeholders in the political scene will be looking at how that shapes the space. And of course, number eight is the pre-election year, of course. And so all eyes will be on the All Progressive Congress, the ruling party, and the People's Democratic Party. They'll be having their conventions this year. And of course, for the presidential flag bearer, who will be the winner, who will come out from the PDP and the APC and other parties that would want to contest too. That would be a very, very big moment for Nigeria because it's going to shape the whole conversation in the political space. And also, same year, state gubernatorial election candidates will emerge. So I can tell you 2022 is a big one for political activities. So much is going to happen. All eyes will be on those developments. And also the federal government, number nine, federal government's effort in securing the nation against bandits and terrorists will be critical. Why? Because we need a secured nation to attract investments. We need a secure nation to conduct elections. We need a secure nation for everyone to move around their businesses and activities freely. So the war against terror is going to be a very key thing to watch. Number 10, last year, the federal government announced its revised trade policy. So we're going to see how it will be laid out, because it's important for Nigeria to have a very robust trade policy to leverage the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which was implemented last year. Number 11 is the electricity tariff review. Now there's a push to have a market-based electricity tariff regime. Will that happen this year? And if that happens, how will it affect Nigerians? It's a very critical development. World Bank has made its view about it. It will push inflation if that happens. But how the federal government manages this again becomes a very key issue. Number 12 is the Niger Delta region, the oil belt of the country. Stability in that region remains important, and issues around environmental pollution, like what happened in Bayelsa, the Eto oil spill, and of course improving the physical infrastructure like the East-West Road is a very critical issue that will become a huge concern, and how that is addressed is very critical. So these are just some of the interesting developments that we'll be keeping a tab on as we begin to experience an interesting year 2022. Don't forget 3 key things. It's a pre-election year in Nigeria. We already have some 2 gubernatorial elections coming up this year. It's a critical year for our economy in terms of shaping it to drive development and address issues around poverty. And third, it's also a very crucial year as Nigeria seeks to achieve stability and growth. So let's see how it happens, and we hope that the year pounds out well, and we'll continue to be here throughout the year, every Monday, giving you all the latest developments in the political economic space and, of course, what's happening across board. That'll be all for this edition of the Economy and Politics Show. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions on reviewing the year 2021 in the political economic space and the key developments to watch in 2022, please send them to otobasi.abasekong@proyochenji.com. Also join our website, www.proyochenji.com, to read our latest news stories, articles, and reports as it concerns the economy and the political space. You can engage us via our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Once again, this is wishing you a very prosperous year 2022. Till you come your way again, thank you for watching and have a nice day.